So at some point he decided enough was enough, and he did what any overweight man without any food knowledge would do. He started a crash diet of eating liquids only. Hi folks, it's Uranus, welcome back to another video. Today we got a special one. I just love transformations. I love a story of a guy who made bad choices in his life, who f***ed himself up pretty badly and then got back on track. So today I'm excited to talk about Ethan Supplee's amazing transformation. He's an actor and you might remember him from Remember the Titans. Now his transformation is so impressive I didn't even recognize him at first. Let's just get to it. When I was a kid, one of my favorite movies was Remember the Titans, and he's one of those characters you simply just cannot forget, even almost 2 decades later.
What happened to you?
Man, I just gave your mom a piggyback ride and she weighs twice as much as I.
This wasn't even at his heaviest weight yet. You might also remember Ethan from My Name is Earl, American History X, or The Wolf of Wall Street. I actually had to look it up because I had no idea whatsoever he played in The Wolf of Wall Street, and then I recognized him and was like, yeah, that's Louis from Remember the Titans. Well, anyway, this is what he looks like today. I don't know about you guys, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this a big fat 10. This guy made one of the most impressive transformations I have seen so far, not only physically but also mentally. He got up to more than 500 pounds or 225 kilograms on a 6-foot frame and lost more than half of it and got freaking jacked like a tree trunk in the process. He was featured on a bunch of fitness websites like Men's Health, he recently had a podcast with Greg Doucette, and he was on the Joe Rogan show. So, his transformation story. Ethan, like a lot of people who end up morbidly obese as adults, started his bad relationship with food already very early in his life, as he was quite a heavy child. In his early 20s and in his early career days, he didn't care at all for his body and he just got morbidly obese, unfortunately. It also didn't help a lot that movie producers actually associated his roles with the character of a big overweight man, so of course it didn't help for him to lose weight. But he explained all of that changed once he fell in love and he wanted to completely change his lifestyle and his eating habits because he just wanted to be around for a long period of time, because being morbidly obese of course increases the chance of having health issues. So at some point he decided enough was enough, and he did what any overweight man without any food knowledge would do. He started a crash diet of eating liquids only. I never really understood the science between those crash dieting and those liquid diets and putting your body in starvation mode. I mean, I once worked with a woman who was a bit overweight and who started a liquid diet of, for some reason, eating onion soup only. And guess what? She lost 10 kilos, but after that she gained 20 kilograms back. For Ethan, I believe it was exactly the same, because with his crash dieting and extreme diets he managed to lose 80 pounds already, but then he plateaued and eventually he gained all the weight back and he was yo-yoing. Why? Because his diet was not sustainable. The most important part of any diet is sustainability. If you can't stick to your diet, if you're always going back and forth, yo-yoing, and most importantly, if you start to hate life because of your diet and you're not enjoying things anymore, then there's a problem with that, because sustainability is the most important part. So he learned from his mistakes and he had to fall in love with food again, only this time healthy, goal-oriented and sustainable. From the podcast he had recently with the one and only Greg Doucette, I understood that he gets the concept of calories in versus calories out and being on a diet that you can sustain all year round. I actually prefer to talk about a lifestyle, because for me a diet is something you're on for a couple of months, like when you want to enter your wedding dress or go on a trip or whatever, but the lifestyle is something that you do all year round and that you can keep on doing because you like the way you're doing it too. He lost a shitload of weight in the past years, doing a lot of cardio. His favorite form is biking even sometimes, excessively biking for 5 or 7 hours per day. He reached his target weight, but he wasn't satisfied with himself, and it is only once he started lifting weights that the switch actually happened. I really think it's important for anyone that wants to transform to start lifting weights, especially for him. Being morbidly obese, he must have had a bad relationship with his body. And trust me, I know what it feels like when you stand in front of the mirror and you're like, what the hell is that, you know? Lifting weights creates a connection with your body that words cannot explain. It's like a healing process. You're healing both your mind and your body by destroying your muscle fibers in the gym. By destroying yourself, you're healing. So it's like some kind of therapy for me. Lifting weights also helps with maintaining discipline and healthy habits, because you gotta stay disciplined for those gains, man. Once he started lifting weights, he gained some confidence and he opened up about his transformation. He actually had enough confidence to post pictures like this. I mean, just look at his transformation, man. It's just amazing. Even though he's almost unrecognizable, he still suffers from body dysmorphia, and in my opinion, that will stay for quite some time. Sometimes he's probably standing in front of the mirror and wondering, who the hell are you actually, you know? From my own experience, and I've been through quite a transformation too, you will never change completely until you change the voice inside of your head. And from hearing all of his interviews lately, I really have the impression that he changed the relationship that he has with his body now, and his message is really positive. He also says that he regrets the damage that he did to his body and that he has to deal with a lot of issues right now. Number one, of course, being his loose skin, which is quite normal for somebody who was morbidly obese and who lost like more than 200 pounds, you know. He has a lot of excessive skin on his arms, legs, and of course the midsection. Since he said he did a lot of damage to his body, I personally think that he might be on hormonal replacement therapy. It's really not so good for your endocrine system to be that overweight and then to crash diet, to go back and forth, to yo-yo diet. It's really not so good for your endocrine system, and I personally think he might be on testosterone and thyroid medication. Now, of course, he didn't confirm this in his interviews, but after all, he's an actor, you know. He says being overweight actually helped him to have more base muscles under all that fat, because the muscles were needed to carry his weight around. And I personally think that might be the case for him, but in general, it will be exactly the opposite for most morbidly obese people. The funny fact is, his dramatic weight loss and transformation actually didn't help his career, because at first, movie producers even didn't recognize him because he had changed physically so much. They didn't recognize him, and they didn't give him new roles because he always had the character of, you know, the obese, I mean the overweight man, you know, so it didn't help his movie career at first. Ethan is quite active on social media, especially Instagram, and he also has his own website and podcast called American Gluten, where he's talking about his weight loss journey. Alright guys, what did you think about Ethan's transformation? Let me know in the comments, and if you have any other transformations like this one to share, be sure to let me know. I hope you really liked the video, subscribe if you like my content, and thank you for watching. See you next time, Uranus out.